A sudden and swiftly reversed ban on wigs, hair extensions, and skin lightening products at the iconic theatre in Senegal's capital, Dakar, Africa, has ignited a widespread public backlash. Royal family, Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. The Tiger's Nest. Attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit, plus take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com, Ethiopia. See you there. And we say blessed love once again, royal family, as we glorify Emperor Haile Selassie I. And yes, all on board that's going aboard. So for sure, this is the time. It is just 1 month away, royal family. The mission to Ethiopia is on. I'm very thankful for everyone that would have definitely showed some level of appreciation for the work and some level of interest as well. Those of you who have already signed up to come with us on this very important mission, at least for an aspect of the mission, which will be the national tour and the Addis Ababa tour. But for sure, there's much more to this mission that is in store. And of course, royal family, the revisited and revised mission to Ethiopia proposal is now available for you. You don't have to email me for this. The link for this document is in the description below the video. So some of you got the mission to Ethiopia proposal already. We would have modified it. As time is getting closer, of course, things are updated. So now it is still a fundraiser campaign. It is still a fundraiser campaign, and we are still looking for everyone to be a part of this. Whether you are coming with us, which you definitely have to contact us very immediately. Let's put it that way. priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Whether you will be part of the sponsoring team, or whether you are just donating, or whether you will be advertising in the upcoming Kidemi and the Ambassador's Pen. So royal family, let me just show you quickly. Now in flipbook fashion, you can go through what is known as the proposal for the mission, to Ethiopia. I will speak a bit about it before we leave this program here today. But to the subject at hand now. Of course, it would have been in the airwaves for a few days now that there was an incident taking place in Africa, in Senegal. And this is how the news came to us on the street as such, that you have now, listen to this, the head of Senegal would have banned wigs, and the women in Senegal rose up against him. Now, it's not necessarily that. In fact, what really took place, there is an iconic theater in Senegal, in the capital of Senegal, Dakar. We're talking of West Africa, of course. And the head of the theater, the director thereof, the person in charge, is a brother that is Afrocentric. and quite conscious according to some. So he decided that he wants to make a difference around here to keep the cultural identity of his people and the theater in general. And the sisters rose up. He was also banning skin lightening cream. The sisters rose up. According to the report, within a day, the ban was removed. In fact, what I would like to do for you, I would just read a few a few paragraphs from the article, a very lengthy article to me. Maybe that's why I said a few pages taken from the BBC, but I cannot go through that full article. You would definitely have to do that for yourself. And obviously, within the article, I'm not going to go to the depths of that. You could see that the British Broadcasting Corporation was putting in its own values. For example, a sudden and swiftly reversed ban on wigs, hair extensions, and skin lightening products at an iconic theater in Senegal's capital, Dakar, has ignited a widespread public backlash, laying bare deep tensions around identity, gender politics, and cultural nationalism in the West African nation. The internal memo was stamped by the National Culture Minister and issued on Monday by Serengene Falgey, director of the Grand Theatre de Dakar. So it is Geye who is the director, and he is the one who issued it, but it was stamped by the Ministry of National Culture. He said the move was to promote, listen to this, royal family. He said the move was to promote African values and protect the institution's cultural image. But critics accuse Gaye of policing women's bodies under the guise of cultural pride, and the ban was reversed the following day. Remember, the minister of the National Culture Ministry stamped this stuff. And the brother took it and ran and said, hey, look at it here. So no more wigs around here. Yeah. We don't want no more false hair in here. No. We don't want no more bleaching cream around here. And within 24 hours, that stuff was thrown out the window. You see what happens when people rise up for what they may consider their rights? In 24 hours, that was over with. Now, what that shows me, and in these few moments, you need to listen to my psychology. Many ones may look at this as, well, the sisters have a right. It's not about the rights, it's about the psychological state of us as a people. Now, this brother here is said to have been a part of a political party that, stood for Afrocentricity and, burn out colonialism and these different things. So the nature of the woman, the African woman, and of course, I'm talking of Africa in general, and her natural hair. We all know the power of the hair. We all know the power of the melanin. We all know the power of the black skin. This is not just your belief, or this is not just what you think. This is just nature. And when a black woman, I always say this, when a black woman straightens her hair, she actually brings herself to the level of, let's just say, an Indian woman. No, I'm talking real, what you would call science here. Because when you go into anthropology, I'm very serious here now. when you study anthropology, they clearly show you that it is a filtration process that takes place. So this is why you would see some black black Indians that they refer to as the untouchables. You usually find these very dark Indians in the southern part of India and in places like Sri Lanka. And many of these dark black Indians, some of them blacker than me, for sure, have the long straight hair like the other Indians. And some of them, you can actually see some semblance of African features, but you can see that they're Indians. Do you know that most of the false hair and weave come from these people here, outside of the horse hair? You know, some of the weave, for those who do not know, is horse hair. They hear from a horse. You understand? But if it's not the hair from the horse, in some cases, in many cases, it's the hair from these very same Indian girls. Some of them would have sacrificed their hair, to some Indian god, and a fella around the corner would have taken the hair and back, packaged that and brought that to the West. I'm not making the story up. How about the brother Chris Rock? Chris Rock did a whole documentary on that aspect of the hair and how dangerous the chemicals in the cream is to the hair and how it can cause mental problems in the long run and damage the hair, of course, in the short run. And he also highlighted what I just mentioned, that the young Indian girls would sacrifice their hair. Many of them have no idea that their hair is going to end up in your head. And their hair are sent all over the world for Black women to, to whatever it is they do to their natural hair. Some of them cut it, then they perm it, and then they sew the Indian sisters' hair in their hair. That's a serious stuff. That is filled with so much, not just psychological trauma, but spiritual confusion. Because again, here you are, many of you very spiritual too, and church going. Every sister in the church has it, the weave or the wig. And even the wig is the same Indian sisters here or the horse here that has been patterned and sewed together in the form of a hat. Because to me, a wig is really a hat. You understand? Around here in Antigua, when you left the island, they wanted to fight you as a man, as a Rasta man, to show what's under your turban and under your cap and these different things, And I stood up for that. One of my main points is that when a woman leaves here with a wig on her head, nobody asks her to take off her wig because a wig is a hat. You understand? It's not her hair, it's a hat that looks like a hair. It's a costume business that we are. We are in a costume society. You understand? That's psychological damage. We are all psychologically damaged. From you are not only in love with this costume world, but the fact that you are numb to it, even if you're not for it, but you are numb to the costume world. All the fake stuff from the eyelash to the blue eyes and the green eyes. You understand? Yeah, we have green eyes and blue eyes too amongst our people, but that's not in the majority. You know that. You know who are the blue eyes and the green eyes. So when you all of a sudden have blue eyes and green eyes, and as my brother would say, the scary curls and the permanent temporary. That's the perm. It's really permanent, like a permanent damage. All of that is serious. So when you have strong brothers rising up and saying to this society, well, we need to stop this. People like maybe a Thomas Sankara and whoever else would have stood up for these sort of measures. This is a different time now. Can you imagine that within a day, all of that psychological teaching and consciousness and the Indian woman here, we're not interested in none of that. This is feminine rights now. This is we do what we want. No, this is serious. And that is the backlash that is coming towards consciousness. Now, the brothers in Senegal, I don't really know how they implemented their decision. I don't know what level of education they brought to the people. I cannot say because you see, our people is lacking knowledge right now when it comes to these situations. They're not even aware of how deep in the miry clay they are. And the more time moves on and the generations pile up upon generations, you're dealing with the people even in the West that totally forget that they have anything to do with Africa. In fact, when I came into this world, we were already at that stage. Although my great grandfather would have been a part of the slavery stuff, but yet still by my time, we already forgot that Africa was us. So you could imagine now when a child is born and 10-year-old and those who are 25 and those who are 35, the mentality, the world that has been placed on them with eugenics and politics and all sort of false entertainment that has been designed to take them outside of the way of a natural human being. That is why you have so many queer activities now. Education has a lot to do with that. The food and the dietary system has a lot to do with that. Of course, breakfast, lunch, and dinner has a lot to do with that. Ham and eggs and cereal and milk has a lot to do with that. So now today, gender identity, you just heard that. Gender politics, I just read it. Not just male and female, it's pronouns now. No more pronouns. Choose your gender if you want. All you have to do is to dress the part and you're it. You don't even have to take any biological adjustment, make any biological adjustment or take any biological surgery to turn yourself from one gender to another gender. You just dress the part and the whole judicial system is backing you. They have to call you she, even though you are a he. There is this fella around here that I went to school with, and this is an all boys school, and now he's a she. I am telling you. And he's a troublemaker, and every now and then he is in the newspaper, and the newspaper is calling the fella a she. And the society just has to accept this. This is where we are, my people. So this is why when you see the brother rise up and say, well, listen, I think we need to ban the wigs. The sister say, what? Yes, I think we need to ban the lightning cream. Who is he? Yeah, and no more false here, please. Come on, brother, you better get out of here. And so said, so done. So that's the psychology. That's where our people are. Senegal, West Africa, I mean, is Christianity and Islam. And in some of these countries, they're more deep into the white man. That syndrome, with those who have been captured and came up in slavery have a slightly different outlook, although they themselves are the same. But somehow in Africa, they definitely see the white man as the literal God. Man, as the brother said the other day on the altar, The old lady in Ghana said that once she's going to church, if she see a white man, she can go back home because she would have seen the Lord. Now that was a serious statement coming straight out of God. And believe me, that is how we think. So it's not really a surprise, but it's somewhat touching to see how not just people, but how the sisters rise up to fight back anything that seems to threaten the beauty world, the fashion world that they are in. But let me just advise the people of Senegal, the government of Senegal, we are here, Rastafari, we're here. The Priest Isaac Institute of Holistic Knowledge, we are here. Because before you make those moves, royal family, you have to be able to speak to the people. The people need to be re-educated. That's what we do here. We don't just jump up and try to force nothing on anyone. You got to re-educate them first. You have to create a whole curriculum for this stuff. Take it from me. You understand? I may not be the president of Senegal, nor the minister of national culture and all of what it is you have there. But again, you need to go deep into your history. You need to tell the school children, those little girls and little boys that you have there waiting to go to college and all of that, and you're going to send them into the belly of the beast to study in the best universities in France and then come back to you. You have to teach them their culture in depth, not what they just grow up and see, in depth before they go. And believe me, those of us who have been sent into captivity, especially those of us who rise up under the banner of Marcus Garvey, we have a lot to teach you. Yeah? So, as it relates to wigs, now, to me, this is where the banning of the wigs needs to begin. Look at this sister here. She has on 2 wigs. That's something else. So, the wig itself, these are our elite. These are our policymakers, our judges and magistrates and all of that. They still do this stuff in the Caribbean. They still do this stuff all over, especially former colonial British Africa, where the magistrates are wearing these white wigs with the curl going up. Now, how intelligent can we be? No matter if you are a baron, no matter if you are a PhD, no matter if you are the king's or the queen's counsel, the fact that you prepare yourself in the morning and put on your dandan and all your garbs and place that white wig on your head. Imagine that. And then you're going to judge the humble folk for doing what the system has pressured them to do, whether they stole, whether they are on drugs, whether they are, even if they did something that I would even myself not be too happy with. But who are you to judge the juvenile? Just the other evening, 2 nights ago, a 17-year-old was murdered by a 16-year-old. I'm talking about here in Antigua. Remember, we're dealing with a population of just about 130,000 people in a small little 108 square miles zone. So a 16-year-old stabbed a 17-year-old to death, and everyone is crying and bawling because the 17-year-old was a prominent upcoming sports youth. And it's interesting because the 16-year-old now, he's in custody. And to me, our society, our young generation, the young people, Boys and girls, they're all victims here. You may think one is the victim and one is the perpetrator or whatever. No, they're all victims. I am telling you. You see what happens in this society, and this happens all the time. Two people in a fight, both of them stabbing each other, and one happens to die. And the one that dies, funeral, everybody cries. The one that lives, he end up in jail as a murderer. But it could have gone the other way. He could have been the one that died, and the other one could have lived, and he would have gotten the funeral, and everybody would have cried, and rah, 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 and the other one would have gone to jail, the one that didn't die. I mean, this is serious. And again, this is why I'm saying all of this comes from the root. And when we have a system and a society, when our leaders and our judges and our magistrates and those who would send little children to prison for an extended period of time would be wearing wigs and blonde wigs on their head with curls and a little pigtail coming down the back, a blonde wig too. Hmm? That's to show you we are psychologically enslaved. So what do you expect from a society now? And then we want to just, cold turkey stop them from doing their madness. No, you got to teach them. Don't worry. When the Most High is ready for them, he will cold turkey them and stop them in their tracks. But for now, we got to teach them. We have to educate our people. We need to create documentaries. That's a theater you're running, people. The iconic theater in Senegal. That's the best place to start. Again, call for the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. We could assist you. We do theatrical work. We could help you to create the films too, but the plays where you highlight our Afrocentricity and our history and do it in such a way that it's palatable to everyone and offensive only to those who need to be offended. You understand? Many people do not comprehend the value of their hair. You need a whole program behind that. You need a whole festival highlighting the beauty of the hair of the African man and woman. You need a whole cultural event, seminars, and symposiums teaching the Black nation the power of the antenna that they have growing out of their cranium. Then you have to go into the crown chakra. Then you have to go into the ninth ether. Then you have to go into electromagnetic energy. This is the here we are talking about. But people have no idea about that. They don't know that their here is what makes them here. Huh? I thought it was your ear. Oh, your ear. Well, your ear is still your ear. And I mean, trust me, man. They have some hair in the ear. Without those hair in the ear, you can't hear. Huh? Okay. Not the hair on your head, there's some hair in your ear that without those hair in your ear, the sound won't travel properly. You hear? And the same hair on your head helps you to hear, but on a different level, because that's like you have that the antennae. Do you know the antennae on certain insects allow them to hear? The insects don't have ears like you, but their antennae allow them to hear or at least pick up the signals. That's what the antennae, the hair, is all about. So the hair is a powerful thing. The enemy purposely brought in a system to make the Black woman straighten her hair and kill all the strong follicle and the whole molecular structure of the hair is now damaged. Hmm? and hanging down now. When the black man and woman here stands up strong, like as the brother says, a black power face. You understand? So the here now is just dropping down, and the energy, the power is taken away, because remember, the here is a spiral. Remember, the spiral is the Fibonacci's series of numbers. Your here grows in the golden spiral, the same golden spiral that you see connected to the galaxies like M31 and M23. The same thing, the spiral that's associated with even the way that the wind blows. The spiral ritual is spiritual. The best antennae are those that are spiral shaped. Remember, even the pyramids begin with the golden spiral, the first three pyramids, the first three numbers in that golden spiral link. So the spiral science is deep. The whirlwind, the whirlpool, the hurricane, the tornado, the spiral. It's a deep thing. So you're here as the black man and the black woman grows in the spiral. So when you kill the spiral and you just, bring it to that long stringy stuff, the energy is gone. And then you're gonna cut it off and buy some Indian here, and then you sew it in, and then all of a sudden you're putting in green here. What's gone wrong with you now? You're putting in pink here. And if your hair was really green, believe me, that would mean that you have some serious mucus on your brain. I mean, it would be a case of death anytime for you to be growing green hair. That's how serious the thing gets. So this is where we are in society. As I just mentioned a moment ago, a 16-year-old killed a 17-year-old. When it comes to these situations, sometimes you have to be sensitive just to speak about it. But the reality is, it's carnival time around here. Those of you listening, you may not even understand the depths of that stuff. But the activities that they are putting on is begging for a sacrifice. The stuff that happens at carnival, you don't do those kind of things unless you expect to sacrifice somebody. Straight up. But we act as if we don't know that. And then, to be honest, some of us don't know that. So when you hear the truck runs over some little child and crushes him to death, when somebody dies because of gunshot or stabbing, it basically is what happens every year. Last year, I think there were 2 deaths, and the report was it was a relatively safe carnival. Imagine that. Imagine that. A murder? No, I think it was about 3 deaths, and it was a relatively safe carnival. To the point that the last 2 deaths happened the night after carnival, but it was still a carnival sort of atmosphere. And so the authorities ruled that one out because it was after midnight. Carnival had ended already at midnight. So that was after midnight. Can you imagine that? So we are judging our society, pardon me, on statistics, our society on statistics, and being official, and it was after midnight and all of that stuff. That doesn't change the picture at all. So education is the key. This is why even our mission to Ethiopia, education is the key in all aspects. That's why we're very bullish, if you want to say, on the whole aspect of us being the prime educators within Rastafari in general when it comes to Haile Selassie I and the glory of the king, of course, obviously, the divinity of the king. I mean, who can make any one of us a PhD in Rastafari studies? Just think about that. If those amongst us who have done the work stand up and say, hey, listen, I'm a PhD in Rastafari studies, who can tell you no? Who can tell you no? All right, so who's going to tell you, oh, yes, you are worthy to have that? No, we are the forerunners of that. So we have a lot to teach the world. And as I said again, royal family, this is education is the key. You understand? Education, especially done in an innovative way, is what is going to transform generations to come. Take it from us. Education, you have to create documentaries, you have to create books, you have to use the same theater once again to bring the knowledge to the people properly. So this is why I am encouraging everyone now, as I said, the mission to Ethiopia. Those of you who will be a part of that mission, we're very thankful as well. Those of you who have not contacted us as yet, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com. Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com, and you will definitely get all the information you need. Let us know that, hey, I would like to be on the African Union CARICOM Summit with you, brother, in Africa, in Addis Ababa for September. You still have time. Contact us today. And of course, you can also check out the revised, revisited mission to Ethiopia. The link for this is in the description below. Listen to this. Let me show you something. So you have it now in flipbook fashion as you open it. Attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit. Plus, take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute at gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com. Ethiopia. See you there. And as I said, royal family, give thanks. This is the modified version of the proposal to Ethiopia and the mission to Ethiopia, the proposal for the mission to Ethiopia. So you have the overview and updated edition of the overview and introduction before the overview. You have the ways to support. All of that is within it, and the different fundraiser sponsorship packages, the levels are also in the this proposal, updated proposal, revised proposal, and of course the magazines, Kidemi, the ambassador's pen. And we have a special on the ambassador's pen. I will explain that to you in a moment. But for sure, you can go through the proposal again, and it will definitely give you all the information you need to know on the upcoming mission to Ethiopia. So those of you, again, who want to be with us, I'm talking about in Addis Ababa and in Ethiopia, you need to contact us as soon as possible. Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com. Those of you who want to advertise with us or at least get a feature in the upcoming magazine Kidemi, you as well, you should contact us as soon as possible. Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com. Of course, those of you who want to, give us a proper a level of sponsorship where you will get back the services and products to go with the level of sponsorship that you choose. All of that is still in the mission's proposal. You need to contact us as soon as possible. Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com. And for those of you who just want to donate because you're saying, well, brother, I don't want to advertise, I don't want no sponsorship, and I don't think I come in, but I appreciate the work that you're doing. And I mean, this sounds like something strong, and I wish I could do it myself. I'm going to send you whatever it is you're sending, and we'll be very thankful for that. And you can contact us as well. And of course, the same Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com deals with the Cash App and the Zelle and the PayPal and etc., etc. Give thanks, royal family. Keep in mind that the link for this description here, the link for this proposal is in the description below. So you just go and check it. And of course, all of the other magazines are in the description as well. The Ambassador's Pen, the Kidemi, and of course, give thanks for your presence. Royal family, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And of course, you know, it takes some real eyes to realize the real lies that are amongst us. All praises. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed love, give thanks, joy. Attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit, plus take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacInstitute at gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacInstitute.com, Ethiopia. See you there.